that we can make sure that we've got an energy policy that makes sense in this country. Doug mentioned we've got to clean up the Chesapeake Bay. We've got to leave this planet at least as good as the planet we inherited from our parents, but we've got a bigger problem with climate change. We send $1 billion to foreign nations, many of them hostile, and because of our addiction to oil, and in the bargain we're melting the polar ice caps, changing the weather patterns all around the globe. So we're going to cap greenhouse gases. And we are going to charge polluters for the pollution they send into the atmosphere. And we are going to take the money that's generated billions of dollars and we're going to invest in solar and wind and biodiesel. We're going to hire young people. We're going to hire young people in Washington, D.C. and in Baltimore and all across the country and train them to insulate homes and change light bulbs and make our buildings energy efficient once again. And we are going to raise fuel efficiency standards on cars to 40 miles per gallon. If we just raised them to 40 miles per gallon, we would save the equivalent of all the oil we import from the Persian Gulf. Imagine what that would do. Not just for our economy, but for our environment and our national security. And by the way, when I made that proposal, I didn't do it in front of some environmental group. I went to Detroit, and I said in front of the automakers, I said, you have to change your ways, and I have to admit, the room was really quiet, nobody clapped. But that's okay, because part of what we need from the next president is somebody who will not just tell you what they think you want to hear, but will tell you what you need to hear, will tell you the truth about the challenges that we face as a nation. That's how we can move forward. That's how we solve problems. That's what I intend to do when I'm president of the United States of America. And if we were ready for change, if you believe that we can have a foreign policy that recognizes there's no contradiction between being safe and being respected, those things are complementary. As president, as commander-in-chief, my job will be to keep you safe. And I will do whatever's required. I won't hesitate to strike against those who would do us harm. But that means also maintaining the strongest military in the world, and that means training our troops properly, and equipping them properly, and putting them on proper rotations. And it means treating them properly when they come home. No more homeless veterans, no more waiting for disability checks, no more waiting to get into the VA. We have to honor our troops when they come home. But part of keeping you safe is also using our military wisely. And the war in Iraq was unwise. It fanned the flames of anti-American sentiment. It distracted us from the fight against Al-Qaeda, those who killed 3,000 Americans. It has cost us not just billions, but ultimately it will have cost us close to $2 trillion perhaps. Money that we could have invested here in the United States in homeland security and rebuilding our roads and our bridges and our ports. It's cost us thousands of lives, not just lives lost, but those grievously wounded. This war was unwise, and that's why I opposed it in 2002, and that's how I will bring this war to a close in 2009. I will bring our troops home. It is time for the Iraqis to stand up and stabilize their country. We cannot have a permanent occupation in Iraq. But I don't want to just end the war. I want to end the mindset that got us into war. I have said very early on in this campaign, I said I would not just meet with our friends, I would meet with our enemies. Not just with those we liked, but those we didn't. And I was attacked by some in Washington. Oh, that was a gaffe. You can't do that. And I said, watch me. I will. Because I remember what John F. Kennedy said. He said that we can never negotiate out of fear, but we can never fear to negotiate. Strong countries and strong presidents. Is that the basketball team out on the way out? What's up, girls? How y'all doing, ladies? We love you. What's your record right now? 25-2. Y'all going to the finals, huh? Give it up for the girls basketball team. We love you. Thank you. You know, if I had brought my sneakers, I would suit up. I'd play a little bit against y'all. I still got game. I do. I'll rain down some jumpers out there. John F. Kennedy said we should never negotiate out of fear, but we should never fear to negotiate. That's what strong countries and strong presidents do. They talk to their adversaries. They tell them where America stands. They try to resolve differences without resort to war. And when we do that, see, I'm looking forward to going before the world community and saying, America's back. We are ready to lead. But we are going to lead not just defeating terrorism. We're going to not just lock down loose nuclear weapons that might fall into the hands of terrorists. We're going to lead by helping poor countries deal with the devastation of HIV/AIDS. We're going to lead on climate change. We're going to lead on bringing an end to the genocide in Darfur. We are going to lead by setting an example for other nations about how we observe civil rights and human rights. We're going to close Guantanamo and restore Habeas Corpus. And we're going to treat our own U.S. citizens properly. No more Gina justice. We're going to have a civil rights division that actually believes in civil rights. A Justice Department that believes in justice. And you will elect a president who has taught the Constitution and believes in the Constitution and will obey the Constitution